Good morning. Water holds great power. It seems to me that Western therapies play on the weakness of patients. The goals of Western therapies involve easing the lives of the patients, reducing their anxiety, supporting them. Western therapies are soft and sympathetic. The therapists tend to side with their clients against others who are seen as the cause of their clients' troubles. On the surface, therapies with their roots in Japanese wisdom appear to be severe, even uncaring towards clients' suffering. Not only do they take the client's suffering for granted, they may assign difficult tasks that actually cause more misery temporarily. What underlies such practices is the recognition of the client's true strength of character. Easing the client's way won't help him or her find true depth of character. Easing life circumstances won't allow the client to develop the confidence that comes with overcoming these circumstances. It isn't that I don't care about my students' pain. It is just that trying to erase it will only cause more pain in the long run. Learning to act on life in a constructive manner while hurting puts the pain into perspective. The student learns that the dimension of no hurt, isn't the only one or even the major one along which life can be lived. The satisfaction of giving to someone else while one is suffering, without mentioning a word about one's own plight, deepens character. That lesson cannot be learned while one is complaining to all who will listen about one's personal dilemmas. My American client may misunderstand these words. I am not recommending denial or suppression of one's own pain in favor of serving others. Pain is a way of reminding us of its existence over and over again. Anyway, isn't that your experience? But as the misery or shyness or obsession or fear or grief or feeling of failure or any other emotion surfaces and we notice it, we need not let that misery prescribe our actions. We need not let it dominate us. Our choice in the area of behavior remains. Development of character, as opposed to relief from suffering, seems to have been more emphasized at other times in Western history than it is now. Take Rudyard Kipling's famous poem, If, for example. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired of waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap of fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop to build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, and all men count with you, but none too much, If you can feel the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. For the most part, Kipling was writing about behavior, about doing. Nearly all of this poem offers direct application for those who want to try a constructive approach to life. It suggests a path toward building character. From our point of view, however, there are a few pieces of advice in If that must be interpreted carefully to avoid possible pitfalls. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, might lead some perfectionistic people to try to create self-trust somehow, thinking it necessary for effective living. Trust is a sort of feeling or attitude. It isn't controllable directly by the will. Without confidence, without self-trust, it is possible to do what needs doing in life while making allowances for the doubts of others. Trusting ourselves usually comes after we have created a history of successful, trustworthy activities. Self-trust isn't necessarily for getting started. It's all right to be tired of waiting. The important thing is to wait, tired or not, when waiting is what needs to be done. And it's all right to give way to hating, provided that the hating isn't allowed to explode into destructive behavior. To be sure, life is easier and more pleasant when we feel patience and when we are free from hate. When our feelings and our behaviors flow smoothly in parallel channels. Unfortunately, I know of no one for whom that ideal mesh of feelings and behavior persists without interruption. Keeping behavior under responsible control is a realistic goal that takes much effort and attention. Then feelings will take care of themselves. Along the same lines, I suspect that Kipling wasn't recommending insensitivity toward foes and friends when he wrote, "If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you." We do feel hurt by friends and foes at times. To feel that hurt is a natural human capacity. Rather than trying to become someone who doesn't feel the pain, it is more realistic and finer to become one who doesn't let the hurt dictate what one does. The hurt can be recognized and accepted, while the doing of this moment's deeds proceeds in a positive direction. In sum, the wisdom of Kipling's If offers constructive advice for daily living. Translating it into the moment's actions requires careful thought and much practice. Kipling doesn't write about complete and self-understanding. He writes about sculpting a solid character, about building a life.